Hello? It's-a me. It's-a Andy. How's it going, everybody? Woo! Moon pooping to pooping cast. Just with Andy today. We got news to talk about, or we will do. Once I get all the bits and the sexy stuff set up, because I'm... Why would I have done that already? That's crazy talk. That's a silly sausage things, isn't it, chat? Hang on. Where's my website? There it is. Is it in position? It looks like it is. Alright, do that. A little bit higher. And I don't think any of the news has came in while I've been setting up the show. But we shall check just in case. Because it's a good idea. No. Okay. No, I'm not, I didn't see this, but I'm not going to talk about this. What even is this? Oh, wow. Wow. Ooh. Is this a masterpiece? It's probably Masterpiece Prime, isn't it? Either way, it's not something we're going to talk about because I don't care. Superficial brand crossovers, the best kind of crossovers, I suppose you could say. But let's hit that music. We'll get pooping. Okay, should I change Ravage? I can change Ravage. Let's change Ravage to, to Blitzwing. There you go. He can eat his John cubes. There we go. Okay. Streaming time. Music time. Let's go.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. It's me, Andy Decayed Andy, here alone this week, talking about the news. We haven't talked about that for, 2-3 weeks now, I think, something like that. Has there been much that happened? No, it doesn't appear like a lot has happened, but that's okay. There's some bits that were pulled out from the pile of goo, which looked, somewhat doable. So, let's get on to that news, shall we? We'll kick off straight away, as we usually do with the third-party nonsense and woo-woo. We have DNA Designs doing the DK56. This is a Studio Series upgrade kit for Optimus Prime. Studio Series... Yeah, I did read that right. This is one of those upgrade kits that if you like the Skybound comics for whatever reason, I guess this is for you, potentially, I suppose. So let's read the blurb. For those that don't know, this is introducing the DNA DK59 Studio Series 86 Optimus Prime Upgrade Kit. Estimated release date is going to be July of this year, obviously. Pre-order deadline will be April the 4th of this year, obviously. And it's going to be an upgrade kit to the thing I mentioned. So what are you going to get in this set? We don't have prices yet, but what do you get in this set? Interchangeable arms. It does say arms. Designed for full transformation and storage. This is specifically the Skybound Megatron arm and fusion cannon. So that's the interchangeable arms. Fusion cannon, extendable and features a lighting, I almost said lightning, lighting function. Batteries not included. Can be held separately. The head sculpt faithfully recreates a specific version's classic look. Jetpack features as a filler piece in vehicle mode. Okay. And a goon allows recreation of specific iconic scenes, I assume from the comic, probably. Many talented creators have brought incredible designs for Studio Series Optimus Prime. While our DNA design version may not cater to everyone's preferences, we have made many tough choices throughout the design process. We sincerely hope fans will love the final product. Your support and feedback is what drives us forward. At DNA Designs, we innovated a unique weapon storage system to complement this masterpiece. Crafted to captivate every collector's heart. Stay tuned for more updates. Floobly. So, let's look at the images. You get a Megatron in gun mode fusion cannon. You get I wouldn't say that's a jetpack. It is just a part for the back, which I suppose is the part. You get I don't know how that head's different. I'm looking at the new head, and honestly can't tell. Maybe they'll have a side-by-side. And then the Megatron arm looks like a Megatron arm. It seems like it's got finger joints in there as well, which, that's cool. Okay. So the new head is a lot more pointy. So for Optimus Prime's little side ear antennas on the original version, they're thicker, so they don't break. On the upgraded version, they're a lot more, I guess, accurate, so they're quite thin. I wonder how their fragility is, if they're going to be super breakable or bendable or whatnot. It's probably one of those things that you got to be, careful of, I suppose. Rodimus Power Toy Collector, welcome. Hope you're doing well today. What else? It looks like the hand on the Megatron arm, the hand for the Megatron arm, is going to be a little bit poseable, kind of like, I'm guessing, in keeping with the rest of the fingers on Optimus Prime's normal hand. Probably not going to be over-articulated or more articulated than that, so probably be in keeping. Oh, okay. I see what the quote-unquote the jetpack piece is meant to go over the big blob of goo on the back of Optimus Prime's back. I've never seen the Studio Series figure from the back like this before. I didn't realize how kind of ugly it looked. It's a lot of panels folded up, so this doesn't fix the problem, but it helps cover up a little bit of it, and then you can shove in the actual jet parts in a slightly awkward place. It does kind of sort of recreate the jetpack, but not completely. But I can see what they're going for. I appreciate what they're trying to do. They're trying to make the back look a little bit more presentable. Fair enough. In terms of the arm, it's got a double elbow bend. You see it in a few poses. As it said, the barrel can extend. I'm not really sure if that's comic accurate, but it can do that. I suppose it was meant to do that for the I guess the toy or the animation. I'm not sure. Yeah, it shows the LED light up function with a purple, well, probably a white light with a purple lens over the front of it. Obviously, the batteries are LR621H, whatever those are. Battery experts probably know better than I do, that's for sure, because I'm a little lost on it. It looks fine. The Megatron gun can be held in Optimus Prime's normal hand, and it can be stored in his trailer. Wee-wah, cool. It's not like a feature I care too much about. The Prime's axe can be used on Megatron's arm, if you so choose. It can do that. And we've got an image of it in the vehicle mode, and it seems about as accurate and smooth of a transition as you would expect Optimus Prime's vehicle mode that has Megatron's arm would be. Again, I'm assuming this is accurate to Skybound comics. Not having read them, or at least more than 3 issues. I think that looks fine. Obviously, it looks a bit awkward. Oh, the jetpack piece as well in vehicle mode actually fills up a big hole in the back of his vehicle mode on the cab section, which again, I didn't know. I didn't know it had a big kind of cavernous gaping hole in the back there. So that's kind of nice. Again, it seems like that piece is better for the vehicle mode than it is for the robot mode. Again, maybe the robot mode would have benefited from, hang on, let's go back to the back of the robot mode. Yeah, if there was a piece that covered all of the back and made it just look like, I'm trying to think, would it look better if it was basically a shell that went over all of this part and made it look like he was always wearing a back piece? Or would it be better where the shell just tried and tidied it up? I don't know. Because if you were just making it look like the jetpack, you'd have a bit more leeway for how big and bulky it is. And if it just kind of clips on over the top of most of this gubbins, then even if it is big, you go, well, he's wearing a jetpack. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. If you're just wanting him without a jetpack, though, and you still want it to be covered up, maybe this was obviously the better solution. And of course, it doesn't fix the problem of the big hole in the back here. You would need to do this piece that they've done for it if you wanted to do that, I suppose. They show different places where you can store the Megatron Fusion Cannon on the top of the vehicle mode or on the I guess the back of the arm for the vehicle mode. Again, the accuracy, I don't know, probably something there. The fusion cannon can be held in Optimus Prime's hand, as it said. Weapons are available for separate purchase. Oh, so you can buy the gun on its own. If you want to just buy the Megatron fusion cannon, I'm guessing they're suggesting that you can just buy it on its own. Okay, well, fair enough. So then, Bumblebee can wield the Megatron fusion cannon. Prime can also use his own normal arm and apparently store it on the forearm, on the side of the forearm. Again, it's kind of nice. And again, if you have an extra Megatron fusion gun, you can store both fusion cannons in vehicle mode. If you really want gigantic smokestacks, I suppose. It's an option, and options are nice. Or you can have Prime with 2 fusion cannons. That's one more than Megatron ever had. So it's an interesting set. I'm not sure this would be a set that I would be gagging for, as I'm not a Skybound fan. I do like the new head, as it is, more accurate. The Megatron in gun mode, meh. The jetpack piece, the actual jetpack, don't care too much for. The extra little red piece is okay. This is an easy skip for me, but I could see people, again, like I said, who are into the Skybound stuff. Yeah, this might tickle your fancy. But yeah, okay. So if you're interested, remember April 4th, that's when the pre-order's coming out. And then the release date is July, which obviously this could all get changed and pushed back and whatnot. So that's just the current news at El Momente. Next up for DNA Designs are doing the DK65 upgrade kit for the Masterpiece Super Jinrai, which I thought I talked about. I thought we'd had this upgrade kit before, but I suppose clearly we haven't, as I take my headphones off. So let me read the blurbo. Oh, maybe this is an update. Is this an update? Reveal images. Read on the details on this. No, I guess this is the full thing. So this is the MPG-09, which is the Super Jinrai upgrade kit. It enhances the articulation and accuracy of your MPG-09 with premium upgrades. Not like those basic bitch upgrades that you used to. The best of the best, potentially. Included accessories. You get a replacement hands. You get replacement hands. Faithfully replicates the box art illustrations with a refined detail. Stable weapon holding hands. Okay. Ensures Ensures a firm grip for your weapons. No more loose holds. Huh. That was a thing? The Masterpiece couldn't hold the weapons very well? No, that's, I guess, not surprising that a Masterpiece is disappointing in some aspect, but okay, fair enough. Extendable arms enhances the vehicle mode aesthetics with more balanced proportions. Yeah, all right. And a variety of hand options, 2 color hands, 2 hand styles, a total of 4 sets for more posing possibilities. I'm glad I've got a pop filter. And that's it. So, pre-orders will be on the March the 28th. So that's 5 days from now, if you want to pre-order. And it's going to be coming out in July, summertime, prime time. So let's have a look at these images. Okay, so yeah, not much. It seems to be primarily, as I guess it said, arm-focused. The arm extensions seem to be, I presume, from the shoulder to the elbow. That looks like what they've done. And then, as they say, they have the different colored hands where they're open hands, open things kind of hands, and then holdy things hands. You've got the blue hands with the blue, what do you call it? Fist guard, if you want to call it that. And then you've got the red hand with red fist guard. So you can pick your poison. Okay. So with the arm upgrade, it looks like he can kind of, not super well, but kind of have the pose where he's holding a gun and then he's using his other hand to kind of like stabilize the aim. Doesn't work perfectly well from the look of the hands. They're quite big. I don't know if that's in proportion or not. It's kind of hard to tell. I guess maybe the more we look at them. I don't know. Maybe the open hands look maybe a bit too big. I don't know. I'd like it side by side. So that's the original one. It looks like that the upgrade kit version can compress the arms down for the vehicle mode, so the red arms just don't stick up quite as much. So that's nice. Let's Otherwise, the vehicle mode doesn't look too different. Yeah, from another shot shows how much low. Well, it's not that much lower. Let's see. What would you say that is? That little gap that's kind of low down there. Centimeter, 2 centimeters lower. So if you've got this with the trailer, obviously, in the trailer mode, if you notice that where the port is on the side of the arm, on the red part of the side of the arm in the vehicle mode, you go down the arm and then you have this little indentation inwards where I guess the joint is. That kind of compresses down a little bit more. So it's whatever that is. It's not massive. Exelhead says, where's the 100% red hands for us OG Power Master Prime fans? Does he already come with them? Exelhead? Because I don't have this figure. Is that why? Does he already have pure red hands with the original? Probably not. Actually, saying that out loud, probably not. I guess if you wanted to, I mean, for DNA toys, they maybe should have just thrown it in there. Yeah. For this is an upgrade for Jinrai, isn't it? It's not an upgrade for Power Master Optimus Prime. So maybe that's why, because from their perspective, they're upgrading it to be Jinrai, a Jinrai figure, not a Power Master Optimus Prime thing. It's probably too late for them to change things, but I guess if you're really, really interested in getting pure red hands, I guess you could ask them, contact them on, I don't know, Twitter or however you can contact DNA Designs. Maybe they'd have a solution, or maybe they'd just sell you something else, but I guess, again, if the original version of these hands for the Super Jinrai figure can't hold the guns very well, it's an irritating kind of necessary upgrade kit. Well, maybe not necessary, but it would make it more fun to fiddle with, right? If your figure can't hold the guns, then that's shit. That's super disappointing. So getting this and he's not going to arse around with his guns in his hands anymore, that's definitely a bonus. The open hand, I don't know about the pose. It's kind of a dramatic sweeping out hand kind of motion. I always think the more hand poses you have, the better. If it's just like closed fist, holdy thing hand, and then kind of weird, relaxed, fingery, wibbly bubbly kind of hands, I'm never quite sure. I'm always sure that, I would have liked a bit more, you get me? You look me in the eyes and you go, yeah, I get you, Andy. Yeah. So there's that. Again, this is a masterpiece figure, so it's a line I would never, ever, 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 ever want. And if someone gave me a masterpiece figure, I'd say, thank you very kindly. I much appreciate this. And then have to sell it, and then hopefully they'll never ask me what happened to that figure. Do you still have it? I'd be like, yeah. I put it in a box. I put it in a box and I stored it in the loft. Oh, really? You're gonna get it down? No, I mean, not now. Maybe. When I'm feeling up for it, maybe I'll change around the collection and put it in. But you and I, chat, would both know, or listener, you and I would both know that means I'll have sold it because I didn't want it to begin with. But the masterpiece line continues. People still want these, and that's good. So, Flame Toys are doing the Furai Model Kit Black RC figure. So, what is this? This is the RC figure, but blech. This going after the Beast Hunters ? The Beast Hunters design. And it actually doesn't look like it's just pure black. It looks like it's... what color would you say this is? Because it's not pure black, because it's on a pure black background, and you can see the joints are pure black. It's more of a super duper duper dark blue. You know when you edge dark blue and purple together to the almost black spectrum? It's that kind of color, so it's not pure black. So it has a nice look to it. So it also helps distinguish the joints and everything. And then it's got very, very fluorescent pinky bits on it. And then the white face with the blue eyes and whatnot. I don't know if this is 100% accurate to the Beast Hunters. Beast Hunters? Yeah, Beast Hunters RC. But she got that ass, as the Furai model kit does. She got a little pistol. She has a rifle. Does she have a Beast Hunter's weapon? No, that's a bit of a bummer. It would have been nice if they gave her like a new melee weapon. But that would obviously mean a new injection mold for a new part, so I get why they don't. It comes with the pistol. Oh, I see what it is. It comes with a pistol. It comes with a pistol holster that then allows you to put a blade into it, or a thing that goes over the top of the pistol to make it into a rifle. That's what it is. Hands, she comes with open things hands, holdy things hands, and then a pair of blue goggles to go over her little eyes. I guess if you missed out on G1RC, or you're like, hey, I could do with another one, or you're like, oh, I'd like RC, but I like her dark and edgy. I like her in a goth phase. This is the goth phase, mommy step on me version of RC, potentially. I could see that, right? Yeah. Maybe if you're doing your goth mommy RC version, all you need is a little bit of like Gundam marker, and then you do like a black underneath the blue eyes, right? So you give it that kind of that panda eye makeup, the over the top makeup around the thing, and then maybe you give it like black over the lips as well. There you go, you're done. Excel Head says, and with Black RC, all 4 figures teased years ago is done. Really? Are they finally caught up? To be fair, it's been a while. Have they done B Center's Windblade? Or have they only done the one release of Windblade out of interest? Because I know obviously Windblade came out with the big boo. RC came out as well. I think it was Windblade. Yeah, it was Windblade first, then RC came out. And now this one. And I can't remember if Windblade's had a recolor. It probably has. But that's good. I wonder if they'll do more of the lady line. Because there's still more female Transformers they could do. But like I say, if you missed out on the first version, this will be an option for the future. Let's read the details of pre-orders. Pre-order now, Furai model Black RC. So it's apparently up. Exciting news! The 39th series of the Furai model is here with stunning Black RC. It sounds slightly weird, but okie dokie. Key features, height. With who does these measurements? 160 millimeters. Who measures their toys in millimeters? Who? Inches, that makes sense. Centimeters, yeah, I guess. Millimeters? Okay, whatever. Designed, modernized, and shape optimized for a sleek look. Zoom in picture of RC's ass. Articulation over 60 movable joints for endless posing possibilities. I mean, it's not endless. There will be a limit. User-friendly. Different injection colors and simple assembly make it perfect for beginners who can't paint or don't want to paint. Don't miss your chance to add this amazing model kit to your collection. Pre-order now and unleash your creativity. I'm not sure it's is it creative putting together a puzzle, like a 1,000-piece puzzle? I don't think that's creative. You're just doing a methodical, monotonous task. That's like Lego. Unless you're making your own build for Lego, I wouldn't say that is like being creative either, because you're following instructions. If you're making your own thing from the Lego, you're definitely being creative, because you're having to apply your mind and go, I'm using 4D quadrilateral thinking on how to make this thing. If you're just you're following instructions, you're just following instructions. The Jack says, Fembar line, welcome by the Jack. Excel's Head says, one Windblade only. Maybe they'll do another one. Maybe they will do the Beast Hunter version. You do, Andy. Decayed Measurer, I am. Simp Bait RC. Hey. If it sells, it sells. You didn't see the Nicey figure. Nicey was an interesting figure and got a lot of people very angry. It made so many people mad. You've no idea how frustrated and I don't know whether it was sexually frustrated or just like very angry. A lot of Transformers people got with the Nicey figure, which was an RC figure with rubbery boob. So it had like squishy boobs on it. It made a lot of people very upset, which made me laugh because I thought it was funny. The Jack says Millennial Puzzle was creative. That's true, but didn't that mean bad things for Yugi? I don't know. Can't you get like an actual Millennium Puzzle? Millennium Puzzle. Doesn't sound like a word now. Anyway, RC. Done and dusted. Moving on, we have the Blockies, which are more model kits. XL Hedge says, I still need to get the big Firebird Black Arachnia. Is that out or is that on pre-order at the moment? I don't remember. XL Hedge. Yeah, the Jack. Type in big new word Firebird Nicey. Nicee. I think that's right, if you want to see that figure. So, Blokies are doing the Galaxy Wave 7. These are Transformers 1 Soundwave and Shockwave renders. I thought they was going to show off the rest of the wave. But it gives us at least a teaser of what's coming, so I think it's fairly easy to presume the rest of the wave will also be connected to Transformers 1. I think that makes sense. Let's click on non-transforming news and maybe it'll pop up with the rest of the wave. Or it might not. I'm sorry, chat. I made the assumption. Apparently, the Blockies Series 5 is being found at US retail? Huh. I didn't know US retail was having them. Oh well. Go USA. USA all the way, if one was so inclined. Blocky's first edition. Sorry, Blocky's Action Edition Soundwave teaser image. Oh, that's right. The Action Edition stuff is the big ones, isn't it? The 18 centimeter tall. So I guess here's another bit of news. Soundwave's getting an 18 centimeter tall blocky figure, with LED lights and removable panels and all that crap. So if you wanted one of them, I will be talking about it, I guess, at some point in the near future when we actually see a full release for it. But at the moment, we just got that. And we also had the Blokies Galaxy Defender Devastator. We have one promotional image. So this combiner is built with the Constructicon part included in the Galaxy Defender collection. These are small 5.5 centimeter, that makes more sense. Tall, in quotations, chibi style figures with 14 points of articulation, packaged in blind boxes. Let's have a look. Yep, that looks like Devastator. Are we to assume that the greened out pieces are the pieces that are already out? I don't know. I'm not sure. XL Hedge says, yes, it's out. Oh, okay, cool. The Jack says, nicey, those degenerates love that sort of thing. Y'all, why are they mad? Because they felt it was objectifying women. That was the reason. I thought it was just a toy, and it made me smile. And a lot of people got angry about it. It's the internet. It's the way things are. The blocky version of Devastator, it says it's meant to be chibi. I wouldn't say this has a super chibi look. It's if like we needed like chibi scale, we need a chibi chart, right? Where like one is pretty much normal, but they're slightly misproportioned. Like maybe they have slightly longer arms, slightly bigger head. And then you have like a 5 or something like that, where the head is gigantic and it's just round and all of the details of the head has been engulfed in the sphere that is their head, like a 5. This is definitely more to the 1 scale, you know what I mean? It's definitely more that way than it is, say, Mighty Mugs or what they're called, Funko Pops. You know, if that's more the 5 scale, this is more the 1 scale, just to give you an idea. But again, if you are collecting this line and you're like, hey, I would like a Devastator, and this does well, I'm assuming it probably will do, we'll probably see more combiners in the future. I don't think that's unfair to say. And next up, this is the interesting, weird little story that happened. So, Transformers Wild King got their official trailer and promotional image, and that's the 3 stories we also have. So we'll have a look at the advert, which I actually haven't looked at all yet. So I'll put on the sound as well, because I don't know what this is. Oh no, I can't have it full screen, can I? Okay, let's watch it, Yunez. Oh, it's a series. Tuh! 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 This is Japanese, by the way. Okay. That is a kiddie-ass kid show. Okay, they're still going. Oh, it's a toy advert too. Well, toy promotion. We'll be talking about the toys. That's basic. However, that's basic, but... Okay, hang on. I'll wait to give my opinion. Wildo King! Okay. So, right. This is the new upcoming CG animated series, apparently starting in 3 days via the Takara Tomy YouTube channel. So I'm probably going to assume that it's not going to be subtitled. I don't know whether that's true or not, but I think it's fair to say it probably won't be subtitled. So this is coming out before the new American series, so that's interesting. Jay says, Master-made Devi is chibi. Oh, that's true. The Jack says, more Convoy Prime. Mr. White, welcome all Jay, and welcome Mr. White. Best update, the wiki on giraffe transformers. Yeah, they get another one. We've got a whole, 2 giraffe transformers now. What Energon did that, and the best form for Transformers. Yeah, this is, it looks like a show that's very appropriate for the target audience. Very, very appropriate. It looks like it's a really basic action series, and it looks like it's the toy aesthetic or gimmick is going to be ports, lots of ports on the figures, on the shoulders, and all across the body for combining. It's got a big Sentai vibe, which I'm sure everybody said, to be honest. I don't think this is better than, is it Tobot that South Korea has? South Korea has some crazy good kid shows. At least, maybe not in terms of the actual show, but in terms of their toys. The toys that the South Koreans have are really good. They're like Power Rangers on crack. By that I mean they're big, thick, chunky toys that have a decent amount of articulation, unlike Sentai toys, which are just big and chunky and don't really do anything, and have to follow a specific format of these things need to be colored to each of the ranges, etc., etc., while the South Korean versions just go, fuck it, we can just do whatever we want, seemingly, from what I've seen. We've also got in-hand images of these, and each of the individual figures, which are Light Long, which is the giraffe, Leaf Back, the Triceratops, Light Long being the electric giraffe, Leaf Long being the grass Triceratops, Hydrophant, which is the mammoth, being the water one, and the Captain Volker, not Vodka. I wish it was called Captain Vodka, which is the red Tyrannosaurus Rex. I'd like to call him Vodka. Each energy beast can combine with Optimus Prime's arms and legs, and you can also combine 5 figures into one big robot, which is the aspect of the Sentai version of them. There's also an update on Energy Master Megatron. Oh, they're going for Master Megatron instead of just Megatron. That's interesting. I don't think the name Master Megatron's been used since... don't quote me on this, but the last time I heard Master Megatron used was in the Galaxy Force line. And that was obviously a long, long time ago. I don't know if Japan's used Master Megatron since then. Maybe they have. And he is just G1 Megatron, so in terms of his color scheme, so that's interesting. Let's have a look at the images. Wait. Are these candy toys? Are these candy toys? It looks like they come in blind boxes. Well, blind box style things. They're not coming in stereotypical packaging. Maybe it's just the perspective's throwing me off, but they look like blind boxes that you get for, again, the mini Plus stuff from Japan, but I don't think it is that. We have Optimus Prime. He's very simple and basic. Here's the thing I was going to say. I think this is a better toy line for kids than almost all of the stuff America's been doing recently. The figures look reasonably good, not offensively bad like a lot of the gimmick toys the American figures are, and it has a fairly fun gimmick. Now, does it have a lot of articulation? No. It has like an okay amount. Does he have knee joints? He does have knee joints. They're not using them here in these poses. Maybe they've spread the legs. I'm not sure if they've spread the legs as far as they can go, but if they are, he can't get much of a Van Damme pose. He's got obviously no ankle tilt or rockers or anything like that, but it looks like he's got some sort of elbow rotation potentially. He's got a 90-degree elbow bend. His shoulders move out. They swing backwards because of the way the transformation works. The head looks like it's on a swivel, if not a ball joint, probably a swivel. Then he has knee joints, which are probably 90 degrees, I guess, and universal hip joints as well, and a waist joint as well. So fairly decent articulation, compared to a lot of the gimmicky kids line stuff, I would say. It looks decent. I think the combining aspect's pretty fun. And each of the animals, they're limited, but that looks good enough to be a giraffe, and Hydrophone looks good enough to be an elephant. Granted, proportionally, the giraffe is literally towering over the elephant. But what can you do? Yeah, are these? How big are these? I wish we knew the height of these, because these are either very small or they just come in very large boxes. I suppose. I think they might just be small, right? Maybe this is just the size of the boxes for like their deluxe scales that they're going to be using. But yeah, the long giraffe dude. Again, the giraffe mode's not great, but I'd argue it's probably better than Beast Wars back in the day. It's not trying to be a organic giraffe, so that you can kind of half-ass it, I suppose, in some ways. It comes with a pickaxe, he comes with a lightning thing, and the giraffe neck is detachable. Robot mode is obviously a little on the weird-looking side, because he's got the giraffe legs just kind of hanging down around him, and what's this? Oh, that's bizarre. I was like, what's the difference between these two pictures? The difference is the joint in the neck, you swivel down from being a 2-peg to being a 1-peg. And the 1-peg is for connecting to his shoulder, which makes him way more kind of looking like Long Rack from Beast Wars Neo. Okay, fair enough. He comes with a little pickaxe. I'm not a big fan of his arms in robot mode, because you have the giraffe leg. It's like the back giraffe leg is just his entire like forearm and hand, and then past his hand is a giraffe leg. It would have been nice if that could have folded down to maybe not like hide away, but just fold down underneath his forearm, Would have been nice, but it would require an extra joint and hinge or pin joint, I suppose, but whatever. Even the head's kind of long racky for the robot mode, not 100%, but fairly similar, I suppose. Again, okay articulation on this figure. Not anything crazy, but okay. They showed the Triceratops dude, and he's got, again, kind of a nice design, being all green. I'm not sure who he's meant to look like. If he's meant to be a nod to, again, Beast Wars Neo, like the two Triceratops guys from that show. Because I think one of them did get repainted green for one line. Then the Mammoth dude, again, I don't know what they're trying to recreate here, but they all have a similar thing of like you detach. It looks like the transformations for each of these limbs are going to be pretty identical with a similar base body, but then aspects will be different. For instance, like the arms, or the again from the forearms to the hands and the feet are different on the Triceratops dude than the giraffe dude. But if you look at it, the base body is the same. And then the head and the tail detach and connect in a similar way with ports and pegs. So the Triceratops head goes on the shoulder, and the Triceratops tail as well goes on the other shoulder as well. And I guess this is how you keep costs down as well. You have them all pretty much be the same, maybe transform mildly differently, but work off a very similar buck, right? A very similar idea. Mr. White says, I want to hold the giraffe head like a gun. I guess he could do that. I don't think... Is there an image of it? It doesn't look like there's an image of it, but I don't see why you couldn't do that. Seems very possible. The Jack says, are those Maximals? I mean, no. Probably not, because this isn't Beast Wars. Maybe they'll be called Maximals for the show? But obviously, since the show hasn't started, it's kind of hard to say. Oh, I made the mistake. The giraffe's pickaxe is used for his little tail. Oh, that's kind of cute. Okay. And then we see Optimus Prime going into his super mode, which is his... What happens to his chest? You fold the centers of his chest down. He gets a silver abdomen area, and then he gets like a big old Matrix-looking thing, because I think it's meant to emulate the Matrix, because you've got a silver outline and then kind of a gold center. It's not meant to be the Matrix, I don't think, but it has an inkling, a vibe of that. And then each of these ports is where you put the let's just call them leaves, the leaves, and then you can flop up some extra ears on the side of Prime's head, so it's got a super mode. Oh, that's neat. Okay. So, to cut down on storage of because you'll remove Optimus Prime's arms, and then you'll replace them with the body of the animal. So Long Rack's entire body, entire robot body becomes an arm. So what happens to Optimus Prime's arm? Well, you detach it, and you open up Prime's blue leg, and you store it inside his blue leg. That's really cool. Okay. So that's why he doesn't have an ankle rocker, because his entire elbow joint and forearm and fist effectively store inside of his leg. That's a neat little cool feature. That's pretty cool. I like that. It's nothing crazy, but it allows you to do something with the arm where it's not like I've got an arm, I'm going to lose the arm because I'm a child. I'm going to eat the arm because I'm a child. Well, these are Japanese children. They generally are a lot better with the toys, but let's not worry about that. And then I guess you can do that with the other side. It shows this Prime with only the long rack equipped. I'm not convinced of the hand, in quotations, the hand mode, but it's fine. Oh, look at that. If you want, you can get the giraffe head and attach it to the bottom of the arm mode. So he's got a long giraffe pokey lance, maybe. I guess you could use that as a play feature. The mammoth. I don't think the mammoth arm looks quite as interesting. No, I think the giraffe one makes a more interesting arm. Oh, and you can detach the legs as well. That makes sense. So then you replace those as well. What are the blue bits? What are these blue bits? Where are these bits from? I can't tell. Are those his knees? I'm not sure. There's some extra blue bits which are used for something, but I'm not sure exactly what. And then obviously you can use the robot animal bodies again to extend the legs. And then you attach the feet on the bottom of them. And then you've got long, taller Prime. Then obviously you can replace the forearms as well and have the super mode. The legs are a little on the hollow side, but I don't know. This is kind of a silly, neat, fun gimmick, I would say. Oh, I'm stupid. You don't get rid of the legs, which I thought you did. You lie the legs down on the ground and they become shoes, basically. It's the victory saber kind of affair. It looks kind of like that. So he gets extra heel spurs as well, because the legs, you pin them in kind of the center of the leg. So then he gets more heel spur, and then he gets the bit on the front of the leg. Yeah, okay, some more stability. That's good. I think this toy line could have more potential if they introduce some more stuff. So maybe you'll get wings for and be able to attach on the back of Optimus Prime. That could be pretty cool, something like that. They showed the dinosaur T-Rex dude, which they haven't showed us the robot mode too well, but the tail goes on the side of the body as well. Oh, you can store one of the animal robot bodies on his back as well. So at some point, theoretically, we're going to get something with wings, surely, because it would be bizarre to not have a back piece that has wings, right? For this kind of play gimmick, or maybe jetpack or something. I'm saying wings because, we've got a giraffe, we've got an elephant, we've got a dinosaur, we got a triceratops. So at the very least, we'll have a pterodactyl. The pterodactyls always sell. They're always cool animals. Maybe a bird. Maybe they'll start doing vehicle ones as well. And then they show off the Megatron. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan of how Optimus Prime looks, and I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's because they've painted the window screens on his robot mode yellow, and I don't think the yellow and the red look as nice as like if those were blue, because the blue obviously would complement the rest of the color scheme. But the Megatron doesn't look too bad either. I mean, it's not the best tank mode ever, but let's, if I'm going to be a little bit mean, allow me to be a bit mean, I would say this tank mode is about as convincing as the Age of the Prime's The Fallen tank mode. Or I'd say it's about as convincing as Earthrise Megatron's tank mode. It's not a great tank mode. It's obviously very simplistic, and it's not trying to be a quote-unquote real tank. But, for this era, it looks pretty, again, not even for this era, for this kind of kid's toy line, it looks pretty good. The only thing I don't like is you've got the big gaps again in the thighs, which is a bit of a bummer. I guess you can remove the horns from the side of the cannon. I guess that's just for storage, but it looks kind of odd to have little pincer claws on the front of a cannon. That looks a bit odd. That Jack says, I didn't even know there was a show. There was a show in the making. What's it about? I've no idea. You know as much as I do. This came out of nowhere, at least to me. As far as I knew, we were getting a show for America, which was going to be exclusively on YouTube, but we don't know much about that one either. And I guess Japan said, no, fuck you, we'll do whatever we want. Sometimes Japan does that. It's been a while since Japan's done its own thing. And again, I will say that I think this looks a little bit more interesting than the American line. Okay, I'll grant you the back of Megatron's tank mode looks a little bit on the wank side, but from the front, it's fine. It's good enough. It shows Megatron in I've fallen down and haven't fully transformed slightly drunk mode, and then fully transformed. It looks like a G1 Megatron. I guess you could use that as a negative because they're not really branching out in terms of the design. Maybe it's a Hasbro mandate that you have to use G1, maybe. But the head sculpt seems pretty good on it as well, to be honest. A little better than Prime's, I would say. I'm kind of tempted to buy at least Megatron and the dinosaurs, because I think like the color combination of the green and the red look quite nice. Ooh, look at this dude. Oh yeah, let's look at the T-Rex dude. T-Rex in the T-Rex mode, it just looks like a robot T-Rex. However, the head reminds me of what's his name from Neo? Is it Saberback, the one that was the Stegosaurus? It looks like it's got that head. He's clearly got an eye patch as well, so that's pretty cool. Decent, nice looking figure, I'll be honest. And again, we've talked about the Triceratops dude, who again has a really nice color scheme on him as well. Then for Megatron's powered up form, you fall down his chest and it opens up a purple kind of area. I'm not a big fan of the horns on the side of Megatron's head. They look a bit weird, I'll be honest. But how does he look combined? He also does have a fusion cannon, while Prime just had an axe. I think Megatron with the two dinosaurs doesn't look too bad. Gray with green and red seem to work quite well. You again, it looks like you store the arms, the forearms in the legs like the Optimus Prime figure as well. I assume it's the exact same transformation, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. His feet look a bit weird because you transform his feet for the Super Duper mode into basically tank treads. It almost looks like he's roller skating. But no, again, this interesting. I think there's potential for this line. I'd hope they do some interesting and more varied modes or ideas for the smaller robots to combine, and maybe do some interesting center body pieces as well. My concern would be we're gonna do Bumblebee now, and we're gonna do Starscream now. Because that would be a little on the lame side, but I'll be honest. I'm depending on the price of these things, I'm kind of interested, because I think this could potentially, depending on how good the quality of the plastic is, this is a neat idea. And like I say, I think this is a bit more oomph to it than the American UK, than the Western Kids line toy stuff. Then we have some promo images of this stuff as well. Oh, we got the prices. Okay. So the Optimus Prime and Light Long Wild docking set, so that's the two combined together. It's going to be 7,480 yen. Megatron and Captain Volko, I think that's the dinosaur, is going to be 7,480 yen. Megatron on his own will be 4,950, same for the Optimus Prime, or vice versa. And each of the individual robots will be 2,750 yen. So you do. Hang on, let me do some maths. Crapulator. I'd rather use a calculator and get it right. Okay, so 59 plus Yeah, you don't save a huge amount. If you buy the sets together, you save about minus 7,480. You save about 220 yen. So you don't save a huge amount, but if you want to make a little bit of a saving, that's a way of doing that. Let me get a currency converter as well. Obviously, these might differ from when you go to a website, but let's go to a currency converter and see what this translates into. So 7.4. Was it 7.4? Let's check. Let me check. Nope, not that one. Stupid Andy. Nope. There it is. 748. 748. 7480. Japanese yen. To British pounds. Sorry, America, you can do it yourself. So that goes to £38. So that's £38 if you want the Megatron and the Captain Dinosaur dude. And let's do the, what was it? 4,095. 4,095. If you just want, come on. 4,095. If you just want the Prime or the Megatron, don't do that. 4,059. Convert. Did you convert it? Okay, if you just want the Prime or the Megatron on its own, that is going to be about £25. And what is it for the last one? It's 2,750. 2,750. If you want the individual robots like Long Rack, etc., Mr. White, if you just want to buy the giraffe on its own, it's going to be £14, obviously without postage or anything like that. So that's not too bad. That's not very expensive. The most expensive thing you're getting is going to be about £40 for two things. So that doesn't sound too unreasonable, at least to me. Obviously, postage might suck a little bit, etc. Will these sell well? Who knows? You might be able to, if you wait a year, you might even be able to get them cheaper, to be honest. Megazord Prime, kind of. That Megatron looks cool. I think so, the Jack. XL Hedge says, how long till third party make Optimus his Energon limbs? I don't think, okay, XL Hedge, I don't think that would ever happen. And unless the line was really popular. If the line got really fucking popular and loads of people got into it, they'd do it then. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. And I say this purely because it's a kid's toy line. This one is not designed to be for the, quote-unquote, the adult collector, right? And as we've seen from third-party stuff, unless it's G1, mostly, or it's in the main line, I don't think we've ever seen them really expand outside of the collector market stuff. We've never seen them upgrade stuff for like the kids toy line. Like I don't think they've done upgrade kits for the deluxe figures for Cyberverse, for RID, not the you know which RID I mean, the Warriors figures RID, or for Earthspark. They've never upgraded those ones or done anything with them, so I don't think it would ever happen. They could. I don't know whether I was going to say should. Maybe not they should, but it would be really interesting to see a third-party company take this line, use these figures as a basis, and go crazy. Not make it too complex, but use maybe the basic idea for the individual robot bodies here, and maybe go to town on maybe advancing them a little bit. So let's say this is complexity level 2 in terms of engineering. And let's say 10 is masterpiece. Knock it up to maybe 5. So you could maybe knock these up to like deluxe kind of complexity, but keep it still usable with these figures, right? I think that could be quite interesting, potentially. That'd be neat. Mr. White says, so building the giraffe army shouldn't cost too much. Well, it depends what you consider an army. Like, 100 would be £140. No, that would be 10. 100 would be £1,400. So, like, it depends what you class as an army and what you class as expensive, I suppose. Mr. White says, I like your third-party idea. So do I. If only I was, like, engineer-minded and could build these things. I don't know if it would sell. That's the thing, because the market's not proven for this line. But it could be an interesting thing, right? You look at it and you go, oh, yeah. Again, I like the idea of this. I might see if I can pre-order these on HLJ if these are available. They might not be at this point, but this line might have potential. Do I think the cartoon will have potential? No. I mean, it's, what was the last exclusive Japanese show? Oh, it was that, what was it called? It used the Transformers Prime Beast Hunters dinosaur toys, didn't it? And it had the Shinkansen that was a combiner Optimus Prime line thing. And it had completely new molds for like ninjas and stuff that could combine with those things. I can't remember what that line was called, but I almost bought into it a couple of times. But it had a very messy overall look, apart from the repaints that they used for those Beast Hunter figures. Those repaints were really nice, actually, to be fair. But this toy line, yeah, cool. I'm actually really on board with this. When I first saw it, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? The more I've looked at it, the more I like how quirky it is. But it is very much that line of, if someone said this is shit, I'd be like, this is the perfect line for kids. This is a much better idea for a kids line, because it feels like there's a lot of playability here. There's a lot of interactivity with each individual figure with these as well. And I think it's a bit more, I think it's easy. It's fair for me to say that these are better than Volcanicus, right? Which you could argue was like the closest thing to this, like the Scouts figures combining into a combiner. I think that's as close as we've got to this kind of stuff for kids. But no, I'm interested. The last bit of news. So how's America doing with their kids' toy line? Well, with Earthspark already finished and cancelled, as far as I'm aware, we've got 2 more figures coming out. Not new figures, but kind of. We have One-Step Smash changes. One-Step Smash, not changes, just Smash. Even though they're Smash changes. Jawbreaker and Twitch. So if you were like, man, I really want fairly mediocre, not very good looking toys that I can transform in one button press, Jawbreaker and Twitch will be available for the One-Step Changer line. So, you know what we'll do? How about this, chat? How about we look right now and see if HLJ has this line? Not the Earthspark line. Fuck that line. We'll see if they actually have the new Transformers line. Because I'm interested. I want to know. I was going to check it out later, but, well, why not do it now? You and I can both find out together. Transformers. Now, they might have it, but they might have sold out. The problem is, I don't know what the line's called. Wild King. Takara's Wild... We'll just put in Wild King. Wild King. It's not blobbing up on the screen, but we'll just search for it anyway. Pre-orders might not be up at this point, I suppose. It should be pre-orders, right? Stock. All future releases. If they are up, it's not an HLJ yet. I'll go back to the Transformers side. Transformers. Nope, that's Wild King Transformers. Transformers. Let's have a look. Stock, all future releases. Nope. Nope. It doesn't look like they have it for the moment. No. Okay, it doesn't look like they have it up there. We'll check Ami. The last place. I only use 2 sites. And Transformers. There was a line called Transformers Be Cool. I don't remember that one. Oh, there's the Rathalos. No, maybe these aren't up for pre-order just yet. Did I miss the release date for these things? Leaders, no. I guess the reveal. We did just have these released on revealed on the 17th, so maybe it's too soon for them to have a release date. Well, if the show is starting up on the 26th of March, which isn't too far away, you've got to assume the toys aren't too far off from getting pre-ordered, right? I mean, that just makes sense. But yeah, that's all the news for this week, I'm afraid. This is all the news for the past couple of weeks. It's been pretty dry, but, we're at the beginning of the year. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Have I been up to anything super fun? What did I watch? I watched something recently. Oh, I've been watching Solo Leveling. I decided to give that a try. It is pretty vacuous in terms of its story. It's a basic shonen show, so if you've seen... any kind of shonen show where they fight and they get stronger and it's got like video game elements in the real world setting, it's very much like that. It's not a plot driven show. It's very much a look at the pretty action, and the animation for the show is really good. So it's like, okay, I'll keep watching. It's, you can jingle keys in front of even my face, and if the key jingles are really shiny, even I'll pay attention to it, So Solo Leveling, I don't see the hype. But maybe some people have the key jangling more than I do. I'm still up to date with ReZero Season 3. Fantastic show. It's a little bit on the key jangling side. There's, again, not much story. It's a lot of action, but yet, again, the action's fairly good. I'm a little disappointed there's not more story stuff. It kind of feels like it's dropped its story elements for just pure action, but I guess that's the arc of the story that they're doing at the moment. But it's still entertaining. I did watch a movie recently, which I hadn't seen before. Oh, I watched Eddie the Eagle. I'd never seen Eddie the Eagle, about the British ski dude who did the skiing long jump thing. I would describe that as very much a generic sports movie. So if you've seen things like The Mighty Ducks, Cool Runnings, Rocky, that kind of feel movie, and you know how those movies play out, you know how they feel, you know how they end. It's one of those ones. It's a slight biopic as well, so it's okay. It's like, it's fine. Eddie the Eagle, it's okay. That's how I would describe Eddie the Eagle. Didn't I watch something else as well? I thought I did. Didn't I? Come on, brain. Did you watch something else? You did. What did you watch? I don't remember. You do. No, I don't. You do. No, I don't. I don't remember. I think I did watch something, but I don't remember what it was, unfortunately. Old memories, old minds die very quickly. I have been playing Monster Hunter Rise on stream. Gone back to that. It's been fun because it actually works in like Wilds, where I need a much more expensive graphics card for it to run without issues. Ha ha ha. So I can't do that at the moment because graphics cards are expensive, and I don't really want to be burning my money if I can help it. And I haven't bought anything. I haven't bought anything for a while. The only things I've got my eye on are the Jada, Street Fighter, Kami Guile, or Commander Guile, as I like to call him, and DJ. Those are the only ones I've really got my eye on at the moment, because Transformers are too expensive. I've got pre-orders for a couple of Transformers, like Dino King from Japan and Studio Series Optimus Prime from Japan. But that's about it, Transformers-wise. XL Hedge says, beware of the Solo Leveling Abridged series. Sister Leveling, you've been warned. I wasn't planning to watch an abridged series on it, but okay, thank you. I would describe Solo Leveling as less story than Sword Art Online, but kind of similar in the aspect of there are video game elements to the main character. Not completely, but it's that kind of aspect, and it's a power fantasy where he gets more powerful every time. It's one of those shows. I did try the comedy series. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like an isekai where a salaryman accountant gets transported to an isekai demon world, and he's working for the Demon King, helping people sort out managerial issues. So he goes in and helps with financing and stuff, and it's meant to be a comedy series. But I felt that the comedy was fairly, at least for me, from my perspective, fairly mediocre. And I watched it and was like, I don't mind a mediocre story Sentai. Sorry, not Sentai. A mediocre story shonen show because at least it got the key jangling with the cool action. If the comedy isn't funny in a mediocre comedy series, then I'm not going to watch it because that's what the show is meant to be focused on. That's its main thing. A shonen show should be focused on its action primarily, and a good one would have really good storytelling as well, but we'll not delve into that. A good comedy series should have a very funny comedy element to it, like Konosuba, at least from my perspective. And it didn't have that, so it's like, you know what? I'm good. I don't need to watch this anymore. I watched a show called Zenshu, which is an isekai where a animator gets transported to another world. It's again very pretty. The story's not incredible, but the references that they do with the animator, because the animator's special power is they animate stuff, and it becomes like a magical summon. So let's say you're an animator and you can draw really well, and you drew like Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime would pop into the world to help save you from the evil monster. But then you wouldn't be able to summon Optimus Prime again. So it is fairly interesting. From that aspect, you go, oh, I kind of know that. I kind of get what the reference is. There's some stuff which I'm like, I don't know what that reference is, but yeah, what can you do? Exelhead says, thoughts on the Super Sentai Isekai. I haven't watched Super Sentai for a while. I haven't watched Kamen Rider for a while, mainly because the last few Kamen Riders, the last lot of Kamen Riders, I've not found desperately good. I tried one episode of the, I haven't tried the chocolate Kamen Rider one, you know, the sweetie Kamen Rider one. I didn't try that. I should probably give it like the first 5 episodes, but I'm not super hopeful, to be honest. Maybe it's good. Maybe it's great. I just haven't tried it yet. And Sentai wise, it needs to be a really good Sentai. I got tied with King Oja. King Oja was very, very stretched out, I found. There were good elements to it, but I also fucking hated the what they call that screen that they use for fucking everything these days? Volume screen? You know, that where it's a big screen and it's not a green screen. It's just a large encompassing screen that they had people on. They had that way too many times, or green screening with King Oja. Volume screen, thank you, Mr. White. That was the entire Sentai show, and it really pulled me out because they were clearly in a CG world. Or a 3D created world with normal people walking around in it. They didn't have the budget to make it work. And I think for me, the benefits of a tokusatsu series is that it's using practical special effects, like it's using miniatures, like it's using little model cities for the giant robot people who are in, you know, giant cardboard box suits to fight in. And I want to have the human side of the element, you know, the Sentai stuff. I want them to be in a city, even if it is like like maybe they make a Western town, or even if they use the goddamn Edo village that they use all the fucking time in Japan because it's a very popular place. You know, even then, it's a real place. It's a real filming location. It exists. Just planting a person on a 3D background just takes me out of it. Looks weird. It reminds me of, what was it called? Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Anybody remember that terrible movie? It's not great. Mr. White says, hate this concept. So overused. I agree. I bet you, Mr. White, the volume screen can be good. I bet you it can be good, like CGI, in small elements. But that's not what they do with CGI anymore, unfortunately. Or with, you know, special effects. Unfortunately, practicals become too expensive, which is a damn shame because practical effects always look good, always look better. Even if I know it's fake, I think it looks better than old CGI. Like you look at these ships in the original Star Wars movies, right? Those are models. They're super cool, super detailed, really like massive models. Same for Star Trek and stuff like that. Real models that exist are great. The bigatures that they used in Lord of the Rings as well, amazing. So cool. Yes, I remember Shark Boy because I loved Rodriguez's early films, just never ever loved them since. Okay, that's fair. Agree strongly with your special effects comments. Yeah, Hollywood swerved the wrong way, unfortunately. I don't think they'll swerve back. I think the only way we'll swerve back is if like practical effects become more commonplace. And I think it's too expensive for them to do it. And they're not willing to do it. I'll need to get rid of that person. But yeah, that's all I've been up to this week, I'm afraid, chat. That's all the fun stuff I've been doing. And just a lot of work and other family life stuff, so nothing desperately interesting. Sorry it's a short show, but again, this is, that's just the news I've got. If I don't get the news, I don't get the news. We'll be back next week, though, with maybe news, or if not news, we'll have Big D on the show, and we'll be talking about... What will we be talking about? We'll be talking about the other half of Prime. That's right, the Transformers Prime show. Because that toy line continued from the cool Prime First Edition stuff onto the RID line, the Prime RID line, which we kind of touched on, and the differences between those two. We have the rest of that line to do, and the Beast Hunter stuff. It might have to be a 3-parter. I'm not sure. The Jack says Transformers Prime toys are still go. No. I just do overviews when we don't have any news to talk about. I do like overviews now of like the Transformers lines. So the last show that we did was we were looking at Transformers First Edition toys and comparing them to the counterparts from the RID toy line, which was when we had the oil crisis. Mr. White says TF Nation Manchester Minicon was great. Oh, it was on. It happened. By the way, not news, but still nice to report. Oh, cool. I'm glad it went down. Was lots of fun things had there? Oh, Mr. White, if you had any photos, I bet you didn't take any photos. If you did take any photos, please poop them over to me via like Facebook or something. I'd be interested to see the evento, if you don't mind. If you do, not to worry. No photos. Fuck! Damn you, Mr. Photo Man. But no photos. Thanks, everybody, for coming on by. If you want to catch the show, we're on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, those places as Moonbase 2 Transformers Podcast. We're on the ccbunker.weebly.com as well. The Moonbase 2 forums, you can find us that way on the Mad Moose forums, etc., etc. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy, Rotten Flesh of the Human Being. I stream at about 10:15 in the evening, UK times. At the moment, we're doing Monster Hunter's Rise, Hitman, Assassin, World Assassin, or whatever it is. We're doing that at the moment. We also played Repo with me, Daddy, and Jubal on Friday. Jubal kept playing the clip of before time began, there was the cube, every time we found a cube. So if you want to watch the VOD on that, it was quite fun. I was not screwed over multiple times by those two. No, not once, not ever. Until next week, remember, if you want to catch us live, it'll be 9:30 in the evening on a Sunday. Until then, thanks for coming on by, everybody. Have a very good day, good week, and a good night. I'll catch you suckers next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.